This is That Exciting Dude, and you're listening to Snap Sports Podcast, sports news and predictions. Alright, this is That Exciting Dude, and you are listening again, like I said, to sports news and predictions. Alright, it's week 2 is done in the books. Some surprising teams didn't bounce back, some surprising teams won, some lost. So it's time to see how did I do on what I thought was going to be the outcome just between your simple wins and losses. That feels a little loud. Let me get that background music a little less. Alrighty. So, week 2, I'm just going to quickly run right through it. So, we had the Thursday, September 15th game between Kansas City and the Chargers. Chose correctly by picking Kansas City. Alright, to Sunday. Sunday starting off, I had Cleveland beating the Jets. That's wrong. I had Detroit beating Washington. That was correct. Yes, that was correct. There's no error in that one. I had Tampa Bay defeating New Orleans, and that's correct. I had the Giants defeating Carolina, and that was correct. I had Pittsburgh defeating New England, and I was wrong. I had Indianapolis beating Jacksonville. We're going to stop right here. What is going on in Indy? I know that they're better than that. But then again, last year, look how awesome they were. Then they ended the season by losing to Jacksonville as well. Alright, continuing on. Let's see. I had Miami beating Baltimore, which is correct. I had the LA Rams bouncing back and defeating Atlanta, and they did. I didn't watch any of that one. Well, actually, I take it back. I did watch a couple highlights, but it's hard to judge a whole game on highlights. I mean, the fact that the Rams won, we'll say, okay, they bounced back and they won. I mean, it was against Atlanta. But yeah. Alright, so I had Seattle over San Fran, which I was wrong. I had Cincinnati beating Dallas, which, forget Dak, keep this backup in. He was so much better than Dak. Pay him $43 million, not Dak. Alright, where was I? Alright. I had Houston defeating Denver. I don't know why I picked that, because Denver has Russell Wilson, and I knew he could make things happen. I don't know what I was thinking there. That was a lose. I lost that one. That was a loose one. Alright, I had Arizona over the Vegas. I was correct. Green Bay over Chicago. Yes, Aaron Rodgers still owns the Bears. I'm glad they bounced back, especially after that first week 1 of the Vikings. Speaking of the Vikings, we're going to skip to them for the later Monday game, and they lost to Philadelphia. And I picked Minnesota, but I obviously didn't choose correctly. And then the last Monday night game was the Buffalo versus Tennessee. I picked Buffalo, and Mawa was correcto. So, now it is time to pick for week number 3. So, if I haven't mentioned already, all of these times are Eastern time zones. I'm going to do my best to keep up with when they change time. Sometimes I just get rambling on, and I get rambling on. Alright, so we start out with Cleveland and Pittsburgh. These two have been really shuffling around. So, it is hard to say which one is going to do better. But I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to go with Cleveland. Then we have, and that's at 8:20 p.m. That's the Thursday, September 22nd game. So then Sunday at 1 p.m. we have Houston at Chicago. I'm going Chicago. Las Vegas at Tennessee. You know, Tennessee didn't look too horrible. I mean, all they have is Derrick Henry. And I haven't watched any of the Raiders, Las Vegas. So this is a hard one. You know what? I'm going to go Tennessee. Kansas City at Indianapolis. Man, Indy really needs to bounce back, but it is against Kansas City. Man. See, Kansas City is going to go into a bloodthirsty Indy. You know, I'm still going Kansas City. Buffalo at Miami. This is going to be a killer game right here. Again, these are at 1 p.m. Buffalo at Miami. Man, you got to pick. I kind of want to pick Miami. You know what? This is going to be my asterisk. You know, this is my asterisk. I really need to pick Buffalo, but I want to pick Miami. I am picking Buffalo. The scratch went on Buffalo. But I've got that little itch for Miami, so we'll see next week. Detroit at Minnesota. Ooh, that's gonna be a good game. Oh man. But again, Minnesota, man, they got their butt rocked by Philly. And Kirky just was not having his day. So again, they're ready for a bounce back game. Will Detroit be ready for that? It is Detroit. And it's at Minnesota, too. You know what? I got lucky with Detroit on week 2. I think they're going to lose very closely. It's going to come down to the wire. But I have to pick Minnesota. Only because it's at Minnesota. Baltimore at New England. I'm going Baltimore. Cincinnati at the Jets. This is Cincinnati. Joe Burrows, what are you doing? I know you're better than this. Look at what you did last year. I gotta go Cincinnati. Joe has to have that bounce back game, and that's gonna be it. Philadelphia at Washington. This one's just kind of like a boom right down the middle, 50-50. Who is it gonna be? I'm gonna go Philly. I'm gonna go with Jalen Hurts in Philly. All right, New Orleans at Carolina. And this is the last one for the 1 p.m. games. I'm glad I was looking at that because normally I overshoot it. New Orleans at Carolina. I'm gonna go with the Saints. Jacksonville at the LA Chargers. Did they get lucky last week? That's the real question. I don't know. I gotta go Chargers on this one. LA Rams at Arizona. This is a big test. Did the Rams get their juice together? Definitely wasn't together in week 1. They only beat the little mighty Atlanta. But I think Arizona is a good test. I mean, Arizona's not like the best team out there, but it's another good 4-run test for them. You know what? I'm gonna have to go. I'm gonna go LA Rams on this one. Atlanta at Seattle. I'm gonna go Seattle. Green Bay at Tampa. Oh my good lord. You know, and I picked Green Bay for the Super Bowl. I did, knowing that they don't have a lot of great wide receivers. I mean, if I really had to pick some wide receivers, it would be Watkins and Cobb. And I'm really going to pick against Tom Brady? I mean, it's like, come on. But Tampa, Tommy Boy has been having some issues himself. Evans is out. He's suspended for the game. So that's actually good for Green Bay. But Tom, like Aaron's been playing with a lot of those receivers are on IRs. This one's a tough TV. You know what? I'm going Green Bay. Those are, let's see, LA Rams, the Atlanta game, and the Green Bay game. Those were all 4:25 p.m. games. And it looks like the Sunday night game is San Francisco at Denver. You know what? I'm going with Jimmy G. Jimmy G all the way. All right, and the Monday night game, it's actually not really an exciting Monday night game, to be honest with you. I'll probably still end up watching it, but it's Dallas at the Giants. Does Dallas have their act together? It's just second. You know what? I'm going with some Dallas mojo on this one. I'm only picking it because it's not Dak, and I think the backup can do something. He sold me. He sold me on that game. He sold me on that last game. All right, we're going to talk about a few points here that happened over the weekend with the games. So if anyone's watching, Kyler Murray went celebrating near very near the stands. Some people are, kind of like high-fiving him, and one person missed and hit his face. And he took it like a personal attack. And it's like, dude, everyone was kind of like showering their hands, like, yeah, I was going to do. And just one guy happened to get the oddball lick to the face. It's like, whoops. It's like, come on, man. All right. Quarterback for San Francisco, Trey Lance, he's out for the season. I never really was sold on Trey Lance. I preferred Jimmy G over Trey. So now Jimmy G can finally get a turn again at the quarterback and prove himself. And lastly, why yes, Green Bay did win, I will say I felt like it was a sloppy win. Yes, there were some big throws, some big plays, but in the end, I do think it was some sloppy play, and it wasn't some solid play that was going on. And, things were just going their way, but it wasn't, obviously 100% perfect. So Green Bay, as much as I did pick them to win the Super Bowl, I do have some question marks on it. So, this is going to be a short episode at looking just right around the 14-minute mark. Normally I like to go a little longer, make it feel like I'm paying for this for something. But, this is sports news and predictions. I am that exciting dude, and I'll catch you next time.